My name is Marketa Mach. I am the Global Associate Partner at IBM IX, a part of IBM that you might not have heard about. We are Interactive Experience and are focused essentially on enabling our clients to digitally transform their businesses through platforms, data, and customer experience. And I think that's particularly relevant today in a world where we are being consistently digitally disrupted and businesses have to enter into a constant innovation stream. And that's what we're helping clients to do, to lay the foundations that will enable them to transition through that change, but also helping them to innovate new business models, define new ecosystems to help them survive. I think we've moved from a time of digital transformation, meaning that there is a start to a process and an end to a process, to a time of digital reinvention, which is basically in a constant state of transformation and needing to sense and respond to a market and to be able to adapt an internal business, to respond to its clients, to respond to its supply chain, to respond to what is happening in market, and most likely through data means. That relates back to the topic that many people associate us with, and that's Watson, which is our cognitive capability. And we're now living in an era where there's a massive proliferation of data. 80% of the data that's being produced is what's called dark data. So it's data that's inaccessible because it's unstructured and it lives in systems that we can't access and exists in forms that we can't understand. And so in order to capitalize on that, to get to that data sense and respond way of operating that allows us to drive insight that we can action on in market, that's the role that cognitive computing essentially plays. So helping us to understand that data, to reason and learn from it, to help us to transform our businesses and respond to our customers. What used to happen was you decided that you needed a particular capability, you deployed a technology and you expected people to use it, and that just doesn't work anymore. So since the era of the iPhone, when we're used to the world being very much about me and being able to access, the universe through an interface that is immediately responsive, that has created a shift in terms of the expectation of customers and employees in terms of responsiveness and how technology will interact with them. So I think that's the best way to describe it. The starting point is around what is the customer need or the employee need, and shaping then the technological response around that. I think what's important is that as we see these new technologies evolve, as with any technologies, we need to be mindful about their application. So is it rapidly developing? Yes. Technologies like Watson are able to see in ultraviolet, are able to understand X-rays in ways that human beings haven't. So, and that's just what's in the process of being worked on now that's publicly available, and no idea what's happening in IBM research labs at the moment, but no doubt even more exciting things than that. And I don't think that it's something that we should fear. This is part of evolution, and what our cognitive capabilities are about helping to make humans better, about empowering people in their roles to be even more brilliant than they are. So an example of that is at the Sloan Kettering Hospital, where we're helping to empower clinicians in their treatment of patients with cancer, but taking the aggregate learnings of all of those doctors in order to empower them in the way that they're providing personalized medicine for people and driving more powerful outcomes. I think that in many respects, you think about what I would argue is the thing that you should think about always in deploying technology, and that is that you don't think about the technology first. You think about the business outcome and you think about the user first, and too many times people say, oh, can we talk to you about cognitive? And it's like, well, what sort of problem are you trying to solve? Well, can we just talk about cognitive? Well, I can do that, but talking about any technology and abstraction from the outcome that you're trying to deliver is going to be less fruitful than if you have a genuine business problem or a case against which we can then say, is this an appropriate application of this technology or not? Is it a sledgehammer to crack a nut or not? I think that one of the challenges actually is that when we talk about cognitive, we end up talking about, oh, we're helping the world cure cancer, but actually that can just as equally manifest in in a chatbot feature that's helping to alleviate, call center pressures, or help customers through a process on a website that they're finding quite difficult, or navigate using natural language through product searches, or even imbuing physical products with interactive and sort of human characteristics in child toys that are helping to children to learn and grow and have a personalized, individualized experience with a toy that's living and breathing. So it spans all of that.
Enjoy this video? Click here for more news on siliconrepublic.com and find us on social media.